Hey everyone, it's November 12th, and that means that if today is your birthday, you share it with convicted serial killer and cult leader Charles Manson, and that is him right up there. Born in 1934, Manson's mother was an unwed 16-year-old, initially naming him No Name Maddox, which within a few weeks became Charles Miles Maddox. His mother shortly thereafter married William Manson, giving Charles the name we all know him by. There are disputed accounts about his biological father, with some saying that the man was of mixed heritage, but with his later aim to start a race war, Manson steadfastly denied having a father who was part black. His mother was a heavy drinker, and she once traded him for a pitcher of beer to a childless waitress before his uncle retrieved the boy. Both mother and uncle were sent to a prison for robbing a gas station in 1939, and he lived with an aunt until their release 3 years later, when his mother picked him up and the two lived in various motel rooms until she sent him away to a school for boys in 1947. Manson fled the school after 10 months, but his mother rejected him, and he turned to crime to support himself. He burgled a grocery store, using the cash to rent a room, and then broke into many local businesses before being caught trying to steal a bicycle. Sent to Boys Town, Manson teamed up with another boy to escape and commit 2 armed robberies. They were caught and sent to the Indiana Boys School, where he was repeatedly sexually abused before his escape in 1951. He stole a car with 2 other boys heading for California, but they were caught and sent to Washington, D.C.'s National Training School for Boys. After a short time, he was sent to a minimum security prison where he held a razor to another boy's throat and sodomized him. Manson was ultimately paroled in 1954, and in 1955 married a woman he met on the outside. The two stole a car and headed to California, where they were caught. He received 5 years probation, and after violating the terms, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison, during which time his wife gave birth to their son, Charles Manson Jr. After spending much of the next decade in prison, he requested that the authorities let him stay there when it came time for his release in 1967. They declined, and he moved to San Francisco, where he became enmeshed in hippie culture and started to amass a group of followers who saw him as a guru of sorts. Manson lived with 18 women, and the group headed south that summer, taking up residence in the Los Angeles area. He made contact with Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys and tried to become a songwriter, with the group recording and releasing one of his songs. There are hundreds of accounts of his life from this point forward that detail how the group became the Manson family and ended up killing 10 people in an effort to start a race war. The most brutal of those murders was the Tate LaBianca killings, where his followers cut out the unborn fetus of Sharon Tate. Manson was one of the most notorious criminals in history, and I highly recommend watching Charlie Says, with Matt Smith of Doctor Who fame playing Manson, and Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he explores the story with a happier outcome. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Charles Manson I say, happy birthday, you bastard.